Hello, my name is Cherie Carter, and I'll be talking about the power of an artist. So NWA was known as the world's most dangerous group, and it was also known as a very controversial group because you either hated them or you loved them. The police in particular did not like this group because they believed that their hit song, Fuck the Police, encouraged disrespect and violence towards the police force, and because of this, their song got banned from the radios. It wasn't allowed to be played at concerts, and it got so much hate that it even caught the attention of the FBI. And some people think that the lyrics in the song may seem reckless, violent, or unethical, but if you dig deep down, you will find out that it actually has some socio-political meaning to it. And the meaning in the lyrics that NWA was trying to express was that they were protesting against social injustices and police brutality. And they wrote these lyrics because they're also victims of this, because they experienced it growing up in their everyday lives. So they just displayed that through their lyrics. The ultimate meaning of the song was to tell the police that you were discriminating against us because of our skin color, and you believe that you can get away with that because of your race, which is particularly white, although sometimes it was black, and that they can just get away with it because of their title as a police. It also helped inform the youths or anyone who would listen to it and the song understanding when it comes to the police. So here we have Freddie Gray, Michael Brown, and Rodney King, who were all victims of police brutality. Rodney King, he was brutally beaten during his arrest, and even after he was cuffed, the cops still continued to beat him, even though he could no longer resist arrest. Michael Brown was an unarmed black teenager who was shot and killed by a police officer. And Freddie Gray was taken into custody in perfect health, although when he arrived at the station, he was suffering serious, critical, and life-threatening injuries. And although it was most likely he was hurt in custody, there was no real evidence to back it up, and he ended up dying 7 days later from those injuries. In the 1992, the LA riot started about 3 days after the beating of Rodney King, and Fuck the Police was said to be a fuel and energy song to use to be hostile towards the police force because they knew what they were capable of. In the Freddie Gray case, people in Baltimore could be seen tweeting out the words "fuck the police," and it started a trend, and it even became illegal to tweet out that word because the police did not like that. And in the Ferguson riots, people could be seen chanting and singing the song "fuck the police" in the streets, and also writing it on many different things. So this is just to show how Fuck the Police and NWA's song became basically the black national anthem for civil rights protesters. So an artist is defined as a person who creates art, is skilled at drawing, a skilled performer, or who is just generally good at doing something that they can display to the public. However, I believe that the job as an artist is that they can do more than to just entertain. And I believe their other job is that it could expand into a more socio-political sense where they advocate for change or they support it, like the NWA, where they advocated against social injustices and police brutality, and they did support change. And another artist I will be exploring about this, who defined the true role as an artist, is Michael Jackson, the king of pop. Michael Jackson was known as the king of pop. He was a legacy, mostly known for his music and dances, but other than that, he was also known for his humanitarian work. As you can see here, he was known as a person who supported or donated the most money to charities. He was a humanitarian because he sympathized with those who were less fortunate, and he had a strong passion to give back, because with great influence comes great responsibility. And he did this through donating money. He held concerts. He even did simple things like visiting sick children in and hospitals who looked up to him because there were many people who were inspired by him. Michael Jackson helped set the standard for what it truly meant to be an artist in society. One of his many humanitarian songs was Man in the Mirror, and as you can see here, he wanted to make the world a better place. Michael Jackson knew of his power and his influence and what it could do, and the millions of fans and peoples he could reach. His reach spread out to people of different countries, ages, and races, so we knew that his music and the messages he wanted to get across could reach them. The messages in his songs were socio-political, whether it be from helping starving children in Africa, the threat of Wales, homeless people, or even the victims of Chernobyl. He wanted to get it across that there are people in this world who needed help, and he wanted to help them, and to also show as a message to his fans that they should also try and help and try and change and make the world a better place. There is another lyric in this song where it said, "Who am I to be blind and pretending not to see their needs?" So Michael Jackson, though the song is titled Man in the Mirror, so he took a look at himself and he could not be blind to the things that were happening in the world. As an artist and as a humanitarian, he knew that he could do something about it. He could not just ignore it, and he needed to make it aware to the public, because if the public did not know of these problems, then nothing could be done about it, which is why it needed to be brought to attention. Another one of his songs was Heal the World, which he also created a foundation because of it. It was meant to better the lives of children because the world had many problems that these children were thrown into. In his music video, it featured children in countries who were in unrest, whether it be for civil or political reasons. And he wanted to show, his main message was that you shouldn't ignore these innocent lives who are being thrown into the chaos of the world because they have no control over it. So he just wanted to help them and tell his fans that they should also try and help. He wanted to create a world for children, whether it be here or in different countries that they can actually live in, because he believed that the children were the future of this world and anything we do for them is meant to better their lives. He brought up messages that tapped into the socio-political aspects of this, like children in countries who were suffering from unrest, and he truly showed the potential an artist could have through his influence message. On June 15, 2009, Michael Jackson died. His death was known as a tragedy, which is a word not used for the death of many artists or even death of an artist in particular. Michael Jackson helped change the world. He was a man who shaped minds, he changed hearts, who did a lot in this world, a lot of humanitarian work. People mourn him not because he was a man who created the moonwalk or because he created hit songs like Thriller or Bad. They mourn him because he was a person who cared a lot for everyone in this world, and he loved every human in this world and believed that he could make a difference for them. His music touched people, and it created a lot of change. And most importantly, Michael Jackson was a person who people aspired to be. He was an artist who did a lot. He had the power to change minds and to put out socio-political messages in his songs. And some people may argue that why is it an artist's job to take on these types of things, that their job is to just entertain, to go to a concert, perform, entertain their fans, and then go home and repeat the cycle over again. But I know that in the room full of teenagers that there are many people who only just listen to artists, that they're not really politically informed about the things that are going on in this world, and the only people they listen to is artists. And as I said before, that with great influence comes great responsibility, And if these artists have the power to influence millions of people across the world, then why not make it a platform for change?